Nathaniel Ashby clocked out of work like it was any other day. He waved goodbye to co-workers, walked to his truck, and pulled onto the road he'd driven hundreds, maybe thousands, of times before. Nothing unusual, nothing alarming. Just a quiet, ordinary end to a routine shift. And then he vanished. Hours passed with no sign of him. His phone didn't ring. His truck didn't appear on any camera. He never arrived home. Nathaniel wasn't the type to disappear without a word. Not to family, not to friends, not to anyone. So when he didn't call, didn't text, didn't show up the next morning, alarms went off immediately. The road he took was simple, familiar, predictable. A straight route with no reason to suddenly change direction. Yet somewhere along that normal path, something happened. Something that erased both Nathaniel and his truck from the surface of the world. Police retraced his usual drive. Family searched every back road he might have taken. Co-workers repeated his last moments, looking for clues. Nothing. It was as if Nathaniel left work, and then never touched the ground again. The mystery didn't start with chaos or violence. It started with routine, and the chilling truth that even the most ordinary moments can hold the darkest secrets. From the very first day Nathaniel Ashby didn't return home, his disappearance became a race against time. Family members retraced every turn he could have made on his drive from work. Friends called hospitals, motels, and even local bus stations, desperate for any trace of him. Police scoured the area near his last known location, checking every road, alley, and wooded path. But every lead hit a wall. As days turned into weeks, investigators began exploring possibilities. Could it have been an accident? Perhaps Nathaniel had swerved off the road, crashed, and was trapped somewhere out of sight. Or darker thoughts surfaced. Was foul play involved? Could someone have targeted him for reasons unknown? Every scenario had its supporters, and everyone seemed plausible. Yet there was zero evidence to support any theory. Rumors circulated in the community. Some suggested he may have chosen to leave, though those who knew Nathaniel dismissed that entirely. He had responsibilities, routines, and loved ones counting on him. Others whispered about potential criminal activity, though no suspects or motives ever emerged. It was a case that became defined by its inexplicable emptiness. No sightings, no clues, no trail to follow. Authorities conducted multiple searches near rivers, lakes, and low-lying areas along his route. They dived where possible, checked under bridges, and even scanned shallow water with early sonar equipment. Yet nothing surfaced. The truck, Nathaniel's life, and the key to the mystery remained hidden, as if swallowed by the earth itself. For Nathaniel's family, the passing months were unbearable. Each day without answers was a day of torment, a day of imagining endless worst-case scenarios. But even amid despair, there was a sliver of hope. Somewhere, somehow, Nathaniel's story had left a trace. Somewhere, the truth was waiting to be discovered. Years later, that truth would finally rise. From the depths of a river, long forgotten and hidden beneath layers of sediment. Years passed. Nathaniel Ashby's disappearance became one of those haunting cold cases. Names on a list, files gathering dust, whispers of still unsolved among investigators. But for his family, the mystery never faded. They kept searching, kept hoping, and never let go of the possibility that Nathaniel's story could still have an ending. That opportunity came when a specialized search team decided to revisit the case using advanced sonar technology. Unlike the tools available during the original investigation, this equipment could scan deep, murky waters with unprecedented clarity. It could detect shapes buried under sediment that had been completely invisible for decades. The team focused on a river near Nathaniel's last known route, a stretch previously scoured without success. Hours of scanning returned nothing at first. Then, suddenly, the sonar revealed a dark, rectangular outline hidden beneath layers of silt. Divers were deployed immediately. The water was murky, cold, and nearly opaque. Visibility was almost zero, but as they descended, their hands brushed cold metal. A truck. The same make and model Nathaniel had been driving the day he disappeared. Inside were human remains later confirmed to be Nathaniel Ashby. The decades-long void of uncertainty was over. The missing man, the vanishing truck, and the unanswered questions were finally explained, not by rumor, speculation, or imagination, but by concrete evidence. It wasn't foul play. It wasn't a disappearance by choice. It was a tragic accident, hidden for years beneath water and sediment, invisible to every search and every human eye. Until technology caught up. Nathaniel's story, once defined by mystery, now had answers. And those answers would bring closure to a family that had waited far too long. Once Nathaniel Ashby's truck was recovered from the river, investigators meticulously examined every detail to reconstruct the final moments of that fateful day. What they discovered provided a heartbreaking clarity. The truck showed no signs of collision or tampering. Windows were intact, seatbelts in place. The steering wheel and pedals were untouched by force. There was no evidence of a struggle, suggesting that Nathaniel remained in control until the very end. The stretch of road near the river proved critical. It was deceptively narrow, bordered by soft, sloping ground leading directly into the water. At the time of the disappearance, there were no guardrails or warning signs. Even a momentary lapse in attention, perhaps a distraction, a brief glance at a phone, or an unexpected obstacle could have caused the truck to veer off the road and into the river. Once the vehicle entered the water, physics and the river's current took over. The weight of the truck, combined with the incline and the flow of water, carried it into a deeper, darker part of the river, where it quickly became buried in mud and sediment. This explained why the SUV had eluded discovery for so long. Early search teams had simply lacked the tools to detect something so well hidden beneath the surface. Investigators concluded that it was a tragic accident, a single, sudden, and entirely unintentional event. Nathaniel had no chance to react once the truck left the road. There was no foul play, no malicious intent. Just an ordinary day transformed into a devastating tragedy. For Nathaniel's family, the discovery provided long-sought answers. They finally understood exactly what had happened, why there had been no sightings, and why the search had turned up nothing for so many years. The truth brought both sorrow and relief. Sorrow for the loss itself, relief in knowing what really happened. The day Nathaniel Ashby's truck was finally recovered from the river marked the end of decades of uncertainty. For his family, every unanswered question, every sleepless night, and every haunting what if had been replaced with clarity. They finally understood the tragic truth. Nathaniel's disappearance was not a mystery, a crime, or a deliberate vanishing. It was a sudden, devastating accident hidden by the river for years. For the community, the discovery was a sobering reminder of how ordinary routines can hide extraordinary danger. Nathaniel's story illustrated the silent peril of unseen roads, rivers, and accidents that can vanish without a trace, until technology, persistence, and determination uncover the truth. Investigators emphasized the lessons learned from this case. Even decades-old disappearances can be solved, and modern tools like advanced sonar can reveal answers once thought impossible. Nathaniel's story became a beacon of hope for families still searching, showing that no case is too old, no river too deep, and no mystery too complete to remain unsolved. For his family, closure meant more than answers. It meant the chance to grieve fully, to honor Nathaniel's memory, and to remember him not as a missing man, but as a son, a brother, and a friend whose life mattered. The river, which had hidden him for so long, had finally returned him to the world, giving loved ones the opportunity to say goodbye. For those watching this story, Nathaniel Ashby's case carries a lasting message. Every disappearance deserves attention. Every mystery deserves persistence. And sometimes, the truth can surface even decades later. If you've followed Nathaniel's story to the end, don't let his journey stop here. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Every click, share, and comment helps bring awareness to cold cases, honors the missing, and ensures that stories like Nathaniel's are never forgotten.